Hi, I'm Jonathan Knight, and this is my regular movie channel, where I'm just going to talk about normal movie stuff. I also review B movies for a channel called B Movie Madness that I will leave the link below, so you can subscribe to that. Um, I recently just got myself a new web camera. My very generous brother-in-law and sister bought me one. I really appreciate that. Because I was wanting to do more videos, but my other camera broke down, so finally I'm doing more. So this is going to be my VHS tape pickup. These are VHS thrift stores. There's a few, but these were at a thrift store. This is Steven Seagal Out for Justice and Steven Seagal in Under Siege 2. Big fan of Steven Seagal, his early stuff. Um, I really like Out for Justice. Under Siege 2 is fun. It's not nearly as fun as the first movie, but I still enjoy it. But these are two solid little action movies, you know. Got these for about a quarter a piece, maybe. I think they were a quarter a piece. The Land Before Time. I grew up watching this movie. Oddly enough, this is the first time I've ever owned it. I've never had a copy of it before, so it's like, why? Or why the hell not, you know? I need to rewatch it. Uh, Aaron, I don't know if it's Aaron or Ern Brockovich. Not usually my kind of movie, but I thought this was actually a pretty good little movie. First time I watched it, probably, I think it came out 2000, so probably 18 years. But it's a solid little movie, you know, another thrift store one. Um, The Paper. This is a Ron Howard movie. It has a great cast. It has, let me see, Michael Keaton, Glenn Close, Marissa Tomei, Randy Quaid, and Robert Duvall. And this is a cool. It was a decent little movie. It's basically, you know, a regular like newspaper, you know, trying to, you know, beat the clock to, you know, avoid a major scandal or something. It was decent. The cast was the best part of it. You know, Michael Keaton was great. You know, and of course Randy Quaid. You know, I miss Randy Quaid, but you know he's having his own personal problems. Grease. Now, the funny thing about this movie is I've always been, you know, always said I hated it, and honestly, it's a guilty pleasure. It's not a movie that I like to say, oh, I love Grease, but it's actually I just rewatched it a few days ago, and it's a really decent, very good. The musical numbers are very good, but it's usually not my kind of movie. I like musicals, but um, I usually don't tell people I like musicals. My favorite movie is a musical, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but this is pretty good. I do like Grease. Grease 2 is awful, though. Um, this one was sent to me by a friend on Facebook, and I did mention to him that I got it and I appreciate it, but I never did a video, and I never watched it until now, so I really regret saying that because he sent it to me, I think, a while back, and that was Hots. It was sent to me by my friend Mr. Bill. This is a 1979, yeah, I think it's 1979 sex comedy about sorority girls who, after being rejected by the snobby pie sorority, they decide to start their own and steal all the men on campus, and it ultimately ends with a game of strip football. Not much plot, but lots and lots of boobs. And if you want boobs, this movie has lots of it. It's actually quite. And you really enjoyed it for the obvious reasons. But if you are a fan of sex comedies from the late 70s, early 80s, I recommend this one. Another thrift store one, With Honors. I think I watched this movie 3 times in the past year. Don't know why. I just really like it. It is a like a college drama comedy with Joe Pesci, Brendan Fraser, and Patrick Dempsey. And it's a pretty good little movie. Joe Pesci is really good in this movie, and the ending is fairly sad. Spoiler, but it's fairly sad. But it's actually a pretty good little movie. Like I said, I've watched it a bunch of times for some reason. I'm trying to get the other one of this. I can't find it right now. I got Cape Fear, the 1991 remake. I also have the 1962 original. When I get to that, I get to it. I can't find it. It's on the bottom somewhere. But this is the 1991 remake of it. I haven't watched this movie in a long time. And, you know, I just randomly put it in one night when I wasn't feeling well, and I kept me awake because it was really engaging, really, Robert De Niro is really scary in this. He's really intense and scary. I do prefer this to the original. I'll explain why I wanted to get the original. I just think this is a better executed thriller than that one. That one's a very 1960s thriller. This one is it's just much more intense. Better acted for the most part. But it's really good. Deep Star 6. Another thrift store one. This is a sci-fi horror movie directed by Sean Cunningham of Friday the 13th. It's one of the few movies. I think he's directed a few movies, but he's not really known for directing. Usually he's producing. But this was a solid. This movie came out in the wake of The Abyss, James Cameron's movie, and when that came out, a whole bunch of sci-fi horror movies just like it came out. Like this, Leviathan, and a couple other ones. This is actually a pretty decent little movie. I need to rewatch it. I haven't watched it in a while, but it's a pretty decent little sci-fi horror movie. Charles Bronson and Mr. Majestic. Now, I'm going to be honest, I have not watched this yet. I'm a huge Charles Bronson fan, so I will be watching it soon. I don't know what it's really about, but it says no one beats the mob except for Vince Majestic, and when they push him too far, he shows there's hell to pay. So I'm looking forward to watching that. This one wasn't a thrift store. I bought this online years and years ago. It ended up in this box when I was putting things together, and that was Elves. This is Christmas horror movie that's extremely cheesy. This is a movie I should review for B-Movie Madness because it is incredibly bad but hilarious and fun to watch. Red Letter Media did a review for this. It's really good. But I saw this long before they reviewed it. I remember renting this from the video store, and it's an insane movie. It's basically about these elves are part of a neo-Nazi experiment during World War II, and it's insane. It has Dan Haggerty, Grizzly Adams is in it. 18 again. Thrift store one. I have not ever seen this. It's a body switching comedy when the grandson switches the body with his grandfather, who is, says right here, 81 years old. I've never seen this, so I'm looking forward to watching this. I love body switch comedies. This came out at the same time as Vice Versa, Like Father, Like Son. There was a whole bunch of these comedies back in the late 80s, and this is one of them. I've never seen this. I've seen the first two. Major League, Back to the Minors. This is Major League 3. I could not finish this movie because it was really dull. It wasn't particularly awful or bad. It was just really boring. I should have known better because, Charlie Sheen was the main star of the first two, and he didn't return for this movie. And that should have told me right there, nah, I shouldn't have watched it. It feels direct-to-video, even though it did go to the theaters. I don't think it made any money, though, but I just found it really dull. Not my thing. This movie I absolutely hate with a passion. Highlander 2, The Quickening. I've actually seen this years ago, and I saw the director's cut version, which I didn't like. And this is the theatrical cut, which I can't remember the major differences. I think there's some scenes that were in different order. I'm looking, I think I have some more over there. I'm getting distracted. This movie, I love the first Highlander, but this one is really awful. It's just annoying, idiotic plot. It feels like they brought Sean Connery back just because they really liked him in the first movie, and he was great in the first movie, but he didn't need to be in this movie. And this movie didn't need to, it could have existed and been good, but it's horribly written, horribly directed. There's only one scene in the movie I like, and that's the scene where the main villain, can't remember his name, but he's played by Michael Ironside. He hijacks a subway train, and he cranks the speed up, and people are flying around the subway and hitting the walls. That was fun, but the rest of the movie is just annoying. There's these annoying laughing birdmen that Connor McLeod fights. It's just I really hate Highlander 2. Hold on a second. I picked these up because I'm a huge Mel Brooks fan, but I haven't seen some of his older stuff. But I did pick up Spaceballs. which I did own on DVD, but I really wanted the VHS of it. You know, I rewatched it. It's a classic. One of my favorite spoofs of all time. It's just really funny. Excuse me. But there's two I've never seen by him, and that's Silent Movie and High Anxiety. Silent Movie is a silent movie about his character trying to make a silent movie in the 1970s, which they haven't done, I think, for 40 years or more, it says. So, and it's basically him trying to make a silent movie. And the only way they let him make the silent movie is to get big stars like Burt Reynolds, James Caan in it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you know, some people won't probably like it because it's a silent movie, but I actually thought it managed to be really funny without any dialogue. Any dialogue whatsoever except for maybe one word. I don't want to spoil that. But High Anxiety is his homage to Alfred Hitchcock thrillers. It's just a big old love letter to Alfred Hitchcock, and it is hilarious. If you know Hitchcock's work, this is even funnier. Really enjoyed this one. Both that and Silent Movie I really enjoyed. Them, giant killer ant movie. From I think 1954. I really like this movie. I haven't watched it in a long time. I have the Blu-ray of it, but I'm thinking about watching this in the double feature back to back with the original King Kong. Now this cover used to roar when you push the button on here, but the thing no longer works. The thing's in here, in the bottom part right here. But I'm thinking of watching this back to back with them. You know, black and white monster double feature. Love the original King Kong. Love them. I love black and white monster movies. They're some of my favorites to watch. Daryl. I've heard of this movie. I've never seen it. It's a family movie about a robot kid that it's a robot kid. He has a robot. Scientists take him away from the lab that built him, and he ends up being adopted by a real family, and you know, eventually, you know, he gets taken away because he's a robot. It's actually surprisingly dark and surprisingly well done kids movie. I actually really enjoyed this one far more than I thought it would. I just picked it up just, you know, watch it. Three Ninjas. High Noon at Mega Mountain, which is the fourth Three Ninjas movie. This movie is horrible. Very horribly cheesy, but I grew up watching it, so I have a little bit of nostalgia for it. I really enjoy seeing Hulk Hogan and Jim Varney. You know Ernest. He's one of the bad guys in the movie. I highly enjoy seeing them in the movie. It's very, very cheesy. I really don't recommend, you know, I think all the Three Ninja movies are not that great. And I'm not sure if I would say this is my favorite because I haven't watched the other ones. But this is the one I watched the most simply because Hulk Hogan and Jim Varney's in it. So, it is what it is. Bullet, Stephen King as Bullet. I've actually never seen this movie, and I still haven't watched it yet. But it was less than a quarter, so I'm gonna watch it. Tell you how it is. Highlander 3, The Final Dimension, or Highlander, The Final Dimension. This tape is a little broken. I gotta fix it. It's broken right here. I've actually never seen Highlander 3. I've seen 1, 2, and 4. I think there's a 5th movie, and I haven't seen that. I've heard a lot of people say this is much better than 2, so when I watch it, I'll maybe do a review of it, because, like I said, I love 1, but I absolutely hate 2. I thought 4 was okay. So I'm looking forward to seeing if this is, you know, much better than 2, which it has to be, because 2 was shit. Wrath of the Ninja, it's an anime movie. I'm not really into anime that much, but it looked like I do like some anime. I like the Ghost in the Shell movie, and I like the old Guyver anime. So, you know, why not? It was cheap. See how it is. I got 3 of the Dirty Harry movies on tape. They only had 3 of them. They didn't have all 5 movies. Of course, there's the original, the classic. I rewatched this on VHS, and it was just as good as it always was. I'm a huge fan of this movie. It's one of Clint Eastwood's best. I mean, it's a classic. And the next one they had was the 4th movie, Sudden Impact, and this is actually my favorite sequel to the Dirty Harry series. I really like this one. I think this is... I like Magnum Force, the 2nd movie, a lot, and the 3rd one I thought was okay. This one I just really enjoyed. This is, go ahead, make my day. That's where that comes from. So this is the most memorable in my opinion, the best story of the sequels. And then there's the weakest, in my opinion, the Deadpool. Now this is supposedly where Deadpool from, Deadpool the comics character, the Ryan Reynolds movie. This is where he got his name. They got it from this movie. This is definitely the weakest of the Deadpool movie, or Deadpool. This is the weakest of the Dirty Harry movies. It's not that great. It's certainly watchable. I would say it's better than the last Die Hard movie, which happens to be also the fifth Die Hard movie. That's the fifth Dirty Harry. And it's a trip to see Jim Carrey and Liam Neeson in early roles. Jim Carrey especially plays a drugged out rock star, which is really strange. Lip syncing to Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses, nonetheless. I liked the plot a little bit, but I thought the villain was just lame. I mean, for the final Dirty Harry movie, it ended on a whimper. In my opinion, a Sudden Impact should have been the final movie, because that would have been a much higher note. There's the trail, I'm going to say trial, of the Pink Panther. I've never really actually seen the Pink Panther movies, except for the Steve Martin one. I've seen the cartoons, of course. I grew up with the cartoon and the music, and I remember the music in my head. And I really want to watch these, so I picked up this one. And then I found out this one was actually made after Peter Sellers died, and his footage is made of deleted footage. So this is probably not the best one to start with, so I might wait and see if I can get the hold of the first movie, then kind of work up to it. Three Stooges shorts. It has 3 shorts. It has A Plumbing We Will Go, Violent is the Word for Curly, and Punch Drunk. Because Punch Drunk is like it's considered one of the best of the Three Stooges shorts. It's actually my favorite on this. That's one of my favorites of all time. It's really a lot of fun. The other 2 are good, but Punch Drunk is really, really, really good. If you don't know about it, every time Curly hears Pop Goes the Weasel, he goes into like a violent temper, and they end up using him for boxing matches and all that. Mo does. This is really funny. Let's see. Some Disney stuff. Max Keeble's Big Move. I was going to say Max Keeble's Day Off. Max Keeble's Big Move. This is an early 2000 movie from Disney about a kid who is going to be moving away, so he decides to get back at all his tormentors. That way, if they want to get back at him, he's already has moved, so they can't. So, but everything doesn't turn out right, as they never do with these movies. It's actually a fun little early kids movie. I mean, it's fairly entertaining. It's one of those movies, though, that you probably watch in the background, but I enjoy it. I mean, it is what it is. Air Bud. I love Air Bud. I'm a huge fan of the Air Bud series, but not the Air Buddies. I really can't stand the whole little Air Buddy movies. I liked Air Bud. I like the first 2, especially this one and the second one, which is like he's playing football. I really enjoy it. I've always enjoyed this one. It's a classic in my opinion. I can't believe the movie is 21 years old. Wow. I feel old thinking about that. Goosebumps. I'm a huge Goosebumps fan, if you can't tell. Goosebumps, Stay Out of the Basement. This is one of the better. This is one of the hour-long episodes. There was half-hour and there was hour-long ones. Like the Haunted Mask ones were an hour long. This is one of the hour-long ones. One of the better ones. Goosebumps was hit and miss. There were some that were really bad, and there were some that were really good. And I think this is one of the really good ones. This I bought at Walmart over a decade ago. Actually, more than a decade, when I sold VHS tapes. Again, it just ended up in the box. It ended up, and that was Supergirl. There's people who hate this movie. I like this movie because it has that charm of the first 3 Superman movies, because that's the same producers. I really like Jerry Goldsmith's score. I really like Helen Slater. I had to check Helen Slater as Supergirl. It's a lot of fun. And, I wish Superman had a role in the movie. I mean, not a big role to let Supergirl have her own movie, but I wish Christopher Reeve was in the movie somewhere, except for a picture. I think he has a picture. Somewhere, speaking of Christopher Reeve, Somewhere in Time. This is a romantic movie, a time travel romantic movie about Christopher Reeve trying to find, falling in love with a painting and kind of wanting to go back to 1912. I actually haven't seen it yet, but it's Christopher Reeve. I'm not really a fan of romantic movies, but I love Christopher Reeve, so I will watch it. I also picked up 3 Star Trek movies. I've been trying to get more into Star Trek. The only ones I really rewatch are the J.J. Abrams ones, and I believe Star Trek fans are kind of mixed about those. So I got Star Trek 4 and 5. I don't know order. And I thought they were both okay. I gave them positive ratings, but I couldn't really get into them that much. They were okay for what they were. I'm guessing I'm not a big Trekkie, I guess. But I did watch Star Trek First Contact, which was with the Next Generation crew, and I absolutely love this one. I really like this one. So after watching this, I was like, okay, I'm going to check out more. Um, I really don't know if any of the other Next Generation movies are any good. I've heard mixed things. I always hear this is the best one, and I really like this. So I'm interested in checking out the others. I'm going to check out the rest of the original series too, so I could do it. I got some X-Files tapes. This tape has the pilot and Deep Throw, which I believe is the second episode. It is. I haven't watched these in a long time, so I'm looking forward to that. Also, I got this one with the Blessing Way and Paperclip, which I don't know what from season that is. I think it's from season 3, maybe. I don't know. Again, I haven't watched these in a while, so I don't know. I'm really interested in checking out the early seasons. And I got that first X-Files movie. I believe it's the first movie. Yeah, Fight the Future. I remember really liking this. I'm looking forward to watching this again. I'm trying to get into the new season so far, but we'll see what happens. Rambo 3. Probably my least favorite Rambo movie, but I still really enjoy it. I'm a huge Rambo fan. Really disappointed they never made another one, especially because I really liked the last Rambo movie. It was one of the biggest surprises of the year. It came out 10 years ago. I think the next month it was been 10 years. My God, I can't believe it's been that long. I don't think they're gonna make another one. They talked about it, but I really like Rambo 3. Is still fun, It's Rambo. I love Rambo. The Evil That Men Do, another Charles Bronson I've never seen. I will definitely be watching this soon because I love me some Bronson. So we'll see how that is. Okay, there's the original Cape Fear. I wanted to watch it just to compare it to the original movie or the remake, Martin Scorsese remake. And it was good, but I definitely felt like the remake, took the stuff that worked in the original and made it better, and then took the stuff that didn't work and make it work. The best thing that they did is they actually used the similar. I think they used the main score, the music score from this. And the score for this is the best part. But I just thought that Robert Mitchum, who played Max Cady, the psychopath of the movie, I thought he was just kind of dull in the role. I hate to say it because I know people really like this movie. I thought Robert De Niro played a more interesting psychopath, more engaging. I kept them wanting to see what he's gonna do next. Of course, this movie's very tame compared to the remake. The Godfather, I haven't watched this in a long time. This was a movie when I was growing up that I didn't like, because when I was in school, people were like, "Oh, you gotta like The Godfather; it's a classic." But I thought it was okay, and I rewatched it, and it's really good, and it went by actually faster. It's a 2-3 hour movie on 2 tapes. It's not my favorite mafia movie. That's Goodfellas, but I still really like The Godfather. I've grown to really like The Godfather. Sleepless in Seattle. Don't know why I got this. I think I just grabbed it to grab it. Not really a fan of romantic movies, but I will watch it simply because Tom Hanks is in it. My favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, and one of my favorite canon movies, Bloodsport. I absolutely love Bloodsport. Just so much fun. I love this movie. When I saw this, I had to get it. This is a movie I want to own on every format that I can get it on because I just really love this movie. So much fun. Speaking of fun, Roadhouse. If you don't like Roadhouse, get the fuck out. Sorry, just get the fuck out, because Roadhouse is the shit. This isn't another fun one, There's a lot of fun, great music. One of the best homoerotic scenes in action movie history, with the gay bodyguard that tries to you know, fuck Patrick Swayze, and then Patrick Swayze rips his throat out. Don't fuck with Swayze. Just saying, don't fuck with Swayze. Um, Another Disney one, George the Jungle. If anyone who knows me knows, I absolutely love George the Jungle. This is a movie that my mom notoriously thinks is like the worst movie ever made. I love this movie. I think it's so much fun. I love the cartoon as a kid. I think this movie is so funny. I love the narrator of this movie. I think he's hilarious. This was a fun movie. They did a sequel without Brendan Fraser that was okay. They had the same narrator though, so it kind of made it more watchable for me. Another movie I've never seen is The African Queen. Now this is actually a brand new copy. I just took the plastic off the other day, and so I never see it. I rarely see brand new VHS tapes. So I've never watched this. It's a classic, I've been told, so I gotta, you know, watch it for less than a quarter. Why not? Speaking of Jean-Claude Van Damme, you know, I should have did this one after Bloodsport. Black Eagle with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Sho Kosugi from the Revenge of the Ninja trilogy. I've never seen this one. I don't think this one's on DVD. I think this is one of the very few Jean-Claude Van Damme movies that's not on DVD. I have to watch this. He plays a bad guy in this movie. He's played a bad guy in No Retreat, No Surrender, which is fun. And also in Expendables 2, which I thought he was great in. He was a great bad guy, so. And I love Sho Kosugi, so. Bushwhacked, Daniel Stern. I love this movie. I watched this a lot. I taped this off of cable as a kid, and I watched it nonstop. Daniel Stern is so funny in this movie. It's a really good little. It's PG-13, it says, but it's a family movie. There is some, you know, non-family moments, but for the most part, kids can watch it, I believe. This one, Shrunken Heads, I got this at a flea market years ago. It ended up in the box. This copy does not work well. There's a lot of tracking problems. It's one of the rare few movies I have that I just can't get to work right. So I'm looking for another copy of this. If anyone has one, let me know. This one I did order off of eBay. I rarely ordered tapes off of eBay lately, but I had to have this, and it was Hamburger, the motion picture. I absolutely love Hamburger, the motion picture. Like with Hots, I just love sex comedies. I think they're so much fun, especially the 80s ones. Not really any raunchy comedies these days. I mean, for the most part, there isn't anyways. This one's a lot of fun. This is, you know, Hamburger, the motion picture. This is my last tape, so I'm going to make it quick. It's about a young kid who keeps on getting kicked out of college because he is like, women throw themselves at him and he can't help but sleep with them. But he's not getting kicked out of colleges, and and unless he hooks up a college diploma soon, he'll be cut off from his trust fund promised by his family. So, but he doesn't have any money to get into another college, so he sees an ad for Burger Buster University, which pays the tuition, so he goes there to get his college degree so he can get his trust fund. But of course, hijinks. Plenty of hijinks and a lot of boobs. A lot of fun. Really catchy theme song, too. It's a media tape. I love media. Well, that's it for now. Like I said, I'm gonna put a link for my B Movie Madness channel below. I'm not sure what I'm gonna review on there. Maybe I'll review one of these movies, but it will be a B movie. There's some I've been wanting to get to. I've been wanting to do Toxic Avenger and Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, but I'm not sure if them are going to be the next ones. They could be. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is being released on Blu-ray this month, so, you know, that might be a good time to talk about it. And I believe this year is the 40th anniversary of it. Wow. 40th anniversary of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. So I might do that. I think it'd be a good 40th anniversary kind of review to do for it. But I'm Jonathan Knight. Thanks for watching. I will be doing more videos soon on this channel and the B-Movie one. I got a Laserdisc player thanks to my brother-in-law, and I will be doing a video about that collection too, to just show people what I have, you know. But other than that, thanks for watching. If you like this, please subscribe to both this and my B-Movie channel. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.